Hello game fans and welcome to another episode of Greenlight Highlights. Now me and Demiholic have been busy trawling through all of the Greenlight games this week to pick out 6 of the best for you. We've also been busy putting together a website for the Steam Chamber, but I'll get onto that a little later, you don't care about that right now. Now we've got a real varied mix this week. The first of our games though is Stardew Valley, which is a game by an independent developer called Concerned 8. Now this is a really interesting it's another game done in a sort of 16-bit style. It sort of looks like a cross between Harvest Moon and Terraria. Now your character is essentially a peasant who must slowly level up his character in order to make it to a master farmer. You can learn new skills such as farming, mining, digging, fishing, foraging and such. Now what's really interesting about this one is it does have 4-player online co-op from the offset, which is really great to see in a small indie game. There's complete character customization and house customization. You can play as male or female, choose from your usual variety of things. You can unlock new items for your home as well. It has some real sort of RPG elements in the game. There are various NPCs, you can marry NPCs. You can level up your character, but essentially the premise of the game is you have 2 years on the farm to prove your abilities. You do this by farming and mining and such, and slowly putting your skills up. If you do well enough, then you will beat out the competition and win the title of Stardew Hero. However, the game does not end there. You can still keep playing forever after the competition is over. Now this sounds like a really interesting little game. Please do. There's a lovely art style to it, it's got some great original music and some really neat little features. So if you're a fan of Terraria, or more pertinently if you were a fan of the Harvest Moon series, then you might indeed like this game. Right, something very different next up. This is Darkwood, which is a top-down survival horror game. Now this is a game with RPG and roguelike elements, which is very popular at the minute. A lot of roguelike games popping up on Greenlight. Now, much like other roguelikes such as FTL and sort of the Stars of the Pit, this one has quite hardcore gameplay and permadeath. So if you die, your save games will get deleted and you will have to start over. However, not all of your progress is lost and some things do carry over to your next incarnation. Now essentially you are in a dark world and you must survive the night. So much like Don't Starve, you have to make sure you're safe at night within light, barricade within a house. So they do this in some interesting ways. Now, it's got a mechanic, a line of sight mechanic, much like the game Teleglitch. So this works really well with top down. I think it's also a mechanic that's going to be featured in a game called Monaco, which we will be covering at some point soon. That's out on Steam in the near future. Now, this game does have some crafting, so in order to protect yourself you can barricade yourself within a house, build barricades on the windows and doors, craft new weapons, update your weapons. It also has various skill unlocks and perks and abilities, so you can upgrade your character in order to give you an advantage over the enemies. It's a really good looking game. It's a very atmospheric looking game, even though it is a top down game with not the most realistic graphics in the world. It still is quite engaging, and I think there's also the game sort of presents a sort of sense of urgency that you don't get with a lot of these hardcore games. And much like other games that feature permadeath such as this and DayZ and Don't Starve, there is a real sense of fear generated. Now when you couple that up with a horror setting, then you really do get a palpable sense of fear within the game. Now, a lot of people think this is a zombie game, and it's not a zombie game. There are a great variety of mobs within the game, including some zombie-like creatures. However, they are not billing it as a zombie game in the slightest. It's just a general horror game. There's quite a bit of buzz about this game. If you have a look at their Greenlight page, there's a lot of people asking questions about it, a lot of people talking about it. They've also got quite a few quotes from some big media outlets there as well, such as PC Gamer and Eurogamer and RPS, even Kotaku. I don't think they've announced a price as of yet. However, They have said that they are looking to put it onto Mac and Linux as well as PC, however they haven't confirmed that as of yet. Right, next up we have Tower of Guns, which is being billed as a roguelike first-person Twitch shooter. Now this is created by a one-man dev team, Terrible Posture Games, and was actually featured at PAX East this week with some pre-alpha footage available to play. Now he's billing this as a single sitting game. It will take an hour or so to beat, although they're saying it's not that easy to beat, and it's the sort of game that you can play over and over again, which is a result of having random enemies, random power-ups, random bosses, tons of unlockable items and weapons, even random level compositing. So you never know what you're going to expect when you sit down and play the game. Now the game also features a lot of crazy power-ups as well as a lot of gun modification. Now this is a really fast shooter with circle strafing, bunny hopping, rocket jumping and such. It's all about keeping moving quickly. It's got a really old school level design, so you've got none of that invisible walls sort of stuff. It's very much sort of harkens back to Quake and Doom in terms of level design. Now what's amazing is this is a one-man dev team, and yet the game looks fantastic. It's sort of got an element of Borderlands to the style with the cell shading, and it looks really slick. This does not look like it's one guy making this game. It's got a really interesting style. It's a little bit more cartoony in places than Borderlands, like in terms of the explosive animations and flames and smoke and such, and the particle effects. It's got very much, even though it looks quite like Borderlands at times, it's also got very much its own distinct style, which would be great for a game like this because it really will help it stand out. Now, as I say, it's pre-alpha at the moment, so it's not available. It's not a finished game yet. So far, the only release date he's given is before the new Thief game comes out, so that I won't be feeling guilty about playing it for 4 days when it's released. Unfortunately, this one is just PC, so no love for the Linux and Mac users. Now, the next game is a game that I'm really excited about. This is Door Kickers from Kill House Games, which is a top-down strategy sim, which is sort of like a cross between Frozen Synapse and Rainbow Six. Now this is a real-time top-down strategy game that puts you in charge of a SWAT team. You have to analyse the situation, plan your team routes, choose your equipment, much in the vein of like your XCOM games, and then choose your breach and coordinate your various team members in order to reach a hostage before the bad guys press a trigger. They're billing this as a quite quick-paced game, with most levels being able to be completed in a few minutes. This is less about completing the game and more about completing it in the best way and going back and playing older levels. Now, it's only a single player as of yet. However, they have said that multiplayer might come sometime in the future. Now, this isn't grid-based at all. This is completely freeform. You can play the levels there's no right way to play the level. You can play the level exactly how you want to play it. Now, there's unlimited gameplay as well, as there is a mission and campaign generator with the game, which, if coupled up with Steam Workshops, could be fantastic and could make the game completely endless. Now, I'm really into my strategy games. I really enjoy games like XCOM, and this very much seems like a sort of real-time strategy version of XCOM. Now, the game is currently available as an alpha build to the public via their website, which I will link below as always. In the current build, you can play some handcrafted levels and check the basic gameplay and tactical options. Each subsequent version of the alpha will bring gameplay advances and new options and sandbox improvements. So if you want to help the game out, then please do go give it a download and give us some feedback and vote it onto Greenlight. Now, the next game we have is Sea Wars. Now, I believe this one is a Japanese-made game, so their Greenlight page is not the clearest in the world. This is it's essentially like a real-time version of Final Fantasy Tactics. It looks really promising. It's a really nice pixel art visual style with a cyberpunk sci-fi setting. It's a single player only. You and the computer have a team of soldiers as well as one captain each, and you have to occupy tiles within the game board to control territory. However, the game is not about completely controlling territory. You only lose when your captain dies. Now, the soldiers can all control themselves independently. However, you can control the soldiers yourself as well in order to move them out of the way of enemy attacks. You can also use your captain at any time to attack the enemy or to dodge various attacks. Now, this is being developed for PC, Mac and Linux simultaneously, as well as Android phones. However, they've not yet optimized it for tablets. You can actually get a PC demo as of March 16th, and I believe there's also an Android beta build as well, so you can go to the website, which I will link below. But the real shining star of this game is its art style. It just looks fantastic. Please do and have a look. Like I said, their Greenlight page is not the easiest thing to decipher. It's clearly been translated with the help of Google, therefore it's not the clearest amount of information, and it is hard to find out what exactly they're going on about. However, I'm sure that won't stop it from being a fantastic game. Right, our final game this week is Iesabel. Not Jezebel and not Lezebel, as it would seem the developer is having to reiterate again and again on the Greenlight page because of his choice of logos. Now, choice of logos aside, this is an action RPG hack and slash game with a art style reminiscent of Diablo 3. Now, this one is PC, Mac and Linux, and it also features cross-platform multiplayer as well. So for you and your friends, there are a multitude of locations with varying settings, as well as a hell of a lot of loot with a fully random system for items that are dropped. The game also features a complex crafting system and over 100 types of enemy for you to slaughter. Now, they're also talking about putting this one out on smartphones as well, and iPads. However, they're not specific as to whether it will be on Android, and they won't be putting out a demo at any point as they want to wait until the game is finished. Right, before you go, just a quick announcement. As I mentioned briefly earlier, we have actually put together a website for the Steam Chamber now. So please just go over to thesteamchamber.com, where you will find all of our videos as well as posts and competitions. And you can also contact us through there. Thank you again for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the 6 games we featured today. There'll be another 6 games featured next week. And I'll also be putting out some first impressions videos this week. Please do like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thanks.